The poll results are saying that most of them have online presence but do not post. Wow. So if you have an online presence and you do not post, if you most of you have an online presence and do not post, that is something that we should actually work on, because everyone can be online but not post. So for me, honestly, in the posting, I am three, because I am conversant with most but not all online tools, but I will use them for my personal entertainment. And recently, I have been thinking I should use them to develop my skill commercially, kwa sababu, because if I do them for personal fun, then I should be able to invest in it and make money out of it. So currently, for me, I'm also at that stage with most of you. So, and this is a whole new dimension that I have to develop. Because funny story is I met Passion Profit. I knew about Passion Profit and Frida Winger through online, which is WhatsApp group. So, and now here we are. So as for, I usually have my new acquired colleagues. So Lillian, please put me on that slide. I usually have my newly acquired work colleagues because of working from home. So with them, we're always in competition with them for my work gadgets. So mostly when I drop them, they'll pick them up. So I actually help them use YouTube to learn colors, because I usually say YouTube is a nice place for them to learn colors. So as you can see on the screen, those are my two acquired quarantine colleagues till God knows when COVID will end. So we use them, we learn with them. So at times when I leave my laptop, they'll use it to either watch cartoons. I use them to learn colors, to paint. As you can see there, they're learning. So I usually take that as a challenge. If they are that young, if they are that young and they are really, really trying to be tech savvy, who am I? So I think we should all take that as a challenge and try to be online and post. For them, they don't have social media handles, but they'll always want to be on YouTube and know what is happening. So if those kids, as young as they are giving us that challenge, then wow, we should all take it. We should take up the challenge and be posting and posting and posting and engage online for business. Them, they're doing it for fun. So Lilian, next slide. So today we have an interesting lineup of activities. So please remain here with us, because we will engage us on how to get online or get obsolete. That is our theme for today. And we want to know why online is important now in our new normal. Online has always been there, but why is everyone saying it now in our new normal? So we will have our IT director, Njau Muriithi, followed by a networking session, and then there's a new session that I brought up called a breakout session. So all of you should stay till the end and see what does this breakout session really, really entail. So stay tuned for that new section. And then finally, we'll have a roundup by Founders Network News. So for now, help me welcome Njau Muriithi. Njau, are you in the house? A software developer. He loves cycling and taking nature walks as they inspire him, and he cools off his head through them. He's a software developer and one of our mentors at Passion Profit. His expertise is in analytical skills, databases, and website developers. His work speaks for itself. You can go and check out our website. That is one of his handwork. So today he will engage us on the challenges of getting online and why it is important now of all times. So the stage is all yours, Njau, and please take us slow on those technical terms. All of us are not IT people. Put them in layman's language.
Thank you very much. Actually, you're now an IT savvy person since you're hosting Zoom and you're doing very well.
Thank
So,
you.
like you said, online is now your cup of tea. We are all here, and I think it's everyone's cup of tea. Just a quick question, Cindy. In the year
Yes.
2000, did you know anyone with a mobile phone?
2000. Oh my God, 2000, I was young. How old was I in 2000? Yes, but I'd seen my parents with phone. Yes, I knew people with mobile phones, but not
Mobile phones.
smartphones.
Okay.
Yes.
How about in the year 2015?
2015, I had seen smartphones. But that time having a smartphone was really, really an achievement.
Okay. And just last year, 2019.
Oh my God, 2019, no one does not have a smartphone. They are all over. Everyone is on Facebook, on Twitter, on IG. You see, even my young quarantine colleagues are doing fine.
So actually, 2019, you know many people that have smartphones. You don't know anyone that doesn't have.
Mm.
So that's how internet penetration has come through the ages. In the year 2000, we had just 0.7% penetration in Kenya. And then fast forward in 2015, we had 69.6%. And then just last year, we have 89.7%. So I wonder what will happen in 2022. Probably 99.1% will be with us.
101. If there's such a figure.
Yeah, so if anyone has a question why we should get online, now you have a question, an answer to it. As people get online, there is more, the way of life changes, right? So at the click of a button, you can order anything, an ebook from US, you get it on your phone, like within seconds. You don't have to go to post office, wait for it to come after 1 month. So the way of life has changed. At the click of a button, you can also order food. Like who would have thought that could get Java in your own house in the year 2000? 2019 is a normal thing. Like you just, in your house, you just need food, just get it online. So as that happens, the consumer behavior also changes. So as we go online, we get more exposed, and the consumer behavior needs more interaction with the online presence. There's just a minute. So consumer changes in 5 distinct ways. They need more sophisticated queries, like where can I get this thing right now and within this few seconds. They rely on product images. They rely on recommendations. Yeah, you have because if you go online,
we are told you are the microwave generation. You want
but
it now and there.
It's the consumer behavior that is changing. The patience levels are going down because you've been exposed to a faster way of doing things. In 2000, if you were told you would get taxi at your doorstep at the click of a button using a mobile phone, that would have been a story. But now, if you are told to walk to the car yard, go and look for a taxi, start negotiating the price, you see, the patience there goes down. So the consumer behavior has changed, and they are more into researching the facts and finding the best price and recommendation, and that happens online. But the question is, how does the retailer or the entrepreneur meet the consumer at that point? Okay, and that's where some of the challenges come in, like the slide shows there. So some of us are stuck in the traditional way of doing business. We are thinking of getting offices, which is not wrong. We're thinking of marketing costs, getting billboards, which is also not wrong. We want to go far and beyond and meet our customers. Our customers, maybe you're in Machakos County and one of your clients is in Mombasa. How do you reach out to that client? The changes in business right now as we see it. We used to meet somewhere in an office for these founders conversations. You see, we are already online. So how do we ensure that business continues and we we make sure that we are not stuck with the challenges of doing business the normal way. We knew about it and get into the new normal and the normal that will be there after COVID. I believe we have established that we need to target the market while stuck at home and provide the right facts to the customers as they search for the products and prices and services online. Okay. So the question is, how do we do that? What do you think we should do, Cindy?
It's on the screen. We should just adopt an e-business strategy, because if most of our consumers are online, then why should we not go online and meet the consumers' demand? Business is about solving problems. So
Yes.
for me, I think we should all adopt a business strategy, e-business strategy.
And as Founders Conversation, we have already adopted it using these meetup places. However, there is some key facts that we need to establish on how to go online. Okay, the screen shows the benefits, but I'd like to share with you some 2 or 3 facts. So if you're writing, you can write this one. Number 1, if you need an e-business strategy, you need to define your online presence. What is an online presence? It is how and where we can see you and your brand online. So if I'm looking for someone who is doing, is it Shayla who's doing personal leadership using Through the Journey? Instead of coming to your offices, how would I find you online and how can we engage? Okay. If I want coffee, if I want David to help me with technology services, how can I find you online without looking for you through your offices, having to travel down to Westlands? So one way you can do that is adopt an online presence by having websites. Okay.
Okay.
The other one is having social media, and the other one is doing articles. So having websites, you have to create your own website. By a website, you need an online unique name. All these things, the social media, the website, you need an online unique name. We call it a domain name. So you purchase it, create a website, and you set up your presence there. How would we want to know the journey online? What is the journey? If I want to know about coffee, what brands of coffee are there and how would you help me? You see, so you establish your presence there and you establish digital marketing aspects to help promote it. By digital marketing aspects, we call them online ads, search engine optimizations, email marketing, and newsletters. Then from there, so we've said you establish an online presence using websites, social media. You can also do articles if you have a journal that does articles. Then after that, you engage digital marketing strategies, online ads, using search engine optimization, so that when I just search personal leadership program, using search optimization, I will see the journey listed as one of the top, so that you get to compete with the market as it is. However, you don't just get online for the sake of going online. This is a business strategy that you have to incorporate e-business. So in your business plan, you need to have a sub plan on how to go online. But you need to do that start with the goals. Why do I need to go online? Why do we need to go online as Founders Conversations? Because, I'll come to that. Don't worry about the slides. Because we need to go online, supposing founders conversations. We can't meet because of cessation of movement. Okay, I need to go online because my coffee supply needs to get to Kisumu, and I'm in Mombasa. Okay, start with a plan. What are the goals and objectives of going online? And what is the target market? If I'm doing baking, like someone is doing home bakery, who is my target audience? So which is the best platform to go through? Is it Twitter? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Instagram, people like seeing a lot of images, you know. Twitter, it's facts and you know what is trending. Yeah. So who is my target audience and which platform should I adopt? And then you check what is the competition doing currently. Okay. And how can I do it differently?
Okay.
So when you approach it that way, now you can decide, I need a website. And in that website, I'll be doing blogs and I'll be doing this engaging content and article writing that people can share to Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. And then in that website, I can also incorporate selling online, e-commerce. And then in that e-commerce, I can link up with other providers. There's also the aspect of supplier channel management and customer path. So I will link up with other providers like the courier services that we know to deliver these products. All these things, you will do them in your own home. And then how do I manage customer interaction? I will need this and these services for data management. Yes. So once you do that, I believe the benefits will speak for themselves. As the slide now shows is, you will have global access to anyone, anywhere, okay? You will have improved client services through flexibility. You don't need clients to come to your office to source for home-baked stuff. You can get it through courier services, whether through WhatsApp, or it will be cost saving. You remember one of the challenges we were having was the brick mortar setup where you don't know what to do. It will be faster, I believe so, because you have access to your phone anywhere. So you get the orders directly to your phone, you channel them immediately. And then there is increased professionalism because your brand is now global and it's online. So anyone who wants to know anything about LADAM technologies, just search and it's there. And you have opportunities to manage your business from anywhere in the world. So if you're stuck in Nairobi and you have branches in Mombasa, you can manage them from anywhere if you have your if you have your business online. So I believe that's one of the main reasons why I advocate that we go online, because one of the challenges that we are facing right now is how do we proceed with this situation that we found ourselves in, right? People have adopted various coping mechanisms like let's get to Zoom immediately. But as business owners, how do we make the sale like right now? Zoom, we will get into Zoom, but at the end of it, I need to make a sale of my bakings. Yeah, so start with a plan, target market, choose the right platform. Is it WhatsApp? Is it a website? Is it selling online? Is it Twitter? Is it Instagram? And then check the competition, what they are doing, and from there, just get started. The question is, how do you get started? Okay. One way is to talk to people at Passion Profit. Another one. Sure.
Okay. That's a good way.
Because I'm sure many people are wondering, but how do I get started? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, uh, in case there is a website need, you will need a domain name. And then that domain name, you will need to get a supplier. So you can source for those people online. And then in case you need mentorship, you can also get it from the founders that do mentorship here at Passion Profit. Questions?
So thank you, Njau. That was an informative session. At least domain, I think we can understand. It was not such a technical term. So Njau will answer our questions. Please let's hurry and put them in the Q&A icon. So Njau, there's one I'm hearing from, there's one in the chat from Ruth Mwangi. Ruth is asking, please recommend a reliable domain host in Kenya.
You don't have to rely on a domain host in Kenya. Since this is a global theme, you can get domains from anywhere. So there's GoDaddy, there's SiteGround. You just go online, buy a domain, and that's it. So I would recommend SiteGround or GoDaddy. But in Kenya, there's one called Deep Africa.
You can write for us those names in the chat box in case.
Yes.
Okay. Then we have another question from Victor Kenneth. Victor Kenneth is asking, how much does a domain cost? And also, where can he buy one? But I think you've answered the question of where he can buy. So how much does a domain name cost?
It depends with the domain name. There's something I didn't say about the extension. There's .org, there's .com, there's .co.ke. All this depends with your business plan. So .org is usually used for organizations, NGOs, those kind of entities. .co.ke is when you have a domain that you want to be localized here in Kenya, so that whenever I'm searching for the journey Kenya, I'll just see the journey.co.ke. Okay. So, but for a normal domain name, you will need about 2,000 shillings. That is a .com for a domain name. But remember, you just don't need a domain name. You need a hosting plan also. Hosting is where you host your website. So that one depends on other parameters, like how big is your website, what kind of a website do you want, and all that. So you can, I think, Cindy, you can share our contact so that we can engage further on that.
Okay, I'll share our contacts in the chat list. You can also share the name of where you can get a domain from.
Yeah, so for an SME, simple basic website, you have your website at 40,000. It's an offer, but in normal days, it will go up.
Okay, that is an offer they should grab.
Yeah.
Okay, then for me, I'd like to ask, for someone who wants to begin, maybe I don't have enough capital for the website and everything. How would you advise someone who just wants to begin from the basics, from totally the basic? What would you advise?
Yeah, so before we proceed, I would like to emphasize that the offer for 40,000 is for today. Whoever wants the website for today. On a normal day, we will charge 55,000. That's the part I was avoiding, but on a normal day, it's 55. Okay.
You can't be generous enough to extend the 40,000 offer.
Maybe we can talk with the people that would like to, so that we engage with them.
Okay. So when someone who wants to begin from the basic, like maybe I don't even have a social media platform at all. I am blank in this online thing and I'm a business. what would you advise me?
Sorry, I didn't get the
Let's say
question.
I am blank in this online of businesses being online. I don't know anything about online. I just want to start from the basic, and maybe I cannot raise up. I can be able to raise up the 40,000 in time as time goes by. But now I just need to get my business online. What would you advise?
I think that's we offer digital marketing strategies, so they can get in touch with us using the contacts that you'll share, because now that's a personal journey that you have to go with them. Yeah, so which one is the best option for you right now? Which one do we kickstart, and how do we proceed? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions for Njau? Or someone has asked.
There's one from Damaris.
Let's take this quick one. Damaris is saying, how do you protect your IP on the social media platforms and manage cyber security?
Yes, a very important thing, there's something called Ssl Certificates. In technical terms, that is secure socket layer. But in simple terms, it's like a padlock for your website. You have to buy it. So that's the difference. When you go to the website, you get some websites have HTTP, others have HTTPS.
Different.
The S. So that S is the certificate. It gives you a higher edge of being in control of security, but there are other security features that are needed by checking who's posting into your social media platform, what is being posted. So there's also real-time antivirus programs that are there that checks for in case of any malware or active hackers that are coming in. But cybersecurity in itself is quite vast. So that's just the basic. There are other options of checking your website. Is it well coded, like that? Yeah.
Okay, then we have someone. I can't give the name, but they're asking, I currently have an e-commerce website which is not attracting buying customers. What can I do?
The strategy.
So they should change their strategy.
We need to establish what they're selling, the target market, and the kind of marketing options they have, and the challenges of what are the pain points of why they are not attracting customers.
Okay.
So we can work with them hand in hand and find out what's going on. Yeah.
So you can work with you. You can check out our contact in the contact list in the chat box. We have them.
So how did I know about passion profit? I learned about it from a friend of mine, my ex-colleague, when I was in the corporate world. She forwarded me a link on LinkedIn about the passion profit, and I was curious about it, and I actually went into applying for it, and I got a call from Frida to confirming my registration, and I went for the training on the start and improve your business around the end of last year. And for about a week, we had a very, very good session. I would actually repeat it over and over again because I really learned a lot and I got encouraged by the kind of people I met, and the trainers were amazing. And by the time I left there, I had a business plan and I was so happy about it because it gave me some visibility on what needs to be done, on what I can do. And I was able also to quantify the work I do, because the main thing of why we do business is to make money, not just for the sake of doing activities. So I was able to actually create something that I can work with, and I love that because I'm still using it till today. And it's the beauty about it is it's also very versatile. You can change it according to different businesses or according to your different strategies, whatever it is that you choose to do. So I thank Passion Profit for that. And also I enjoy the founders' conversations. I used to attend the one at Samir Park and I got to meet people who become good friends, including Nora. So I really do appreciate all this, and I will stay with this forum as long as possible. So yeah, so for now, that's what I can say.
Thank you, Sarah. I've seen in the chat section, we will all be farmers. If the farmers look like that, we are all going to be farmers.
This hides a lot of things, because when I'm in the shop, I look very different. Don't be fooled.
Let us not be fooled. Things on the ground are different.
Very different. I mean, when you go to the farm, you have to wear gumboots and kitamba.
Okay, but
Yeah.
thank you so much, Sarah. If you have any questions for Sarah, you can please put them in the question and answer box. So Sarah, according to today's topic, we are being told we should get online or we will get obsolete. So according to you, what is your take on that topic and your business? How has online affected you? Do you run a risk of being obsolete, or how is everything?
Okay, I'm actually based online. I have an online presence. That was one of the first things that I did. You can, I don't know if I need to put the name of the website in the chat.
Yes,
so
put the name of the website in the chat so we can refer there.
Okay, so it's www.missbellcompany.com. So a lot of the things that Njau was talking about were resonating with me, because I realized I went through a lot of that last year when the website was being developed by my web developers. And on top of that, I also set up an Instagram page for the images. I set up also a LinkedIn page, mostly to educate people on why we need to go healthy, eat organic, and the benefits of the different organic foods. And I also have a Facebook page for also images and some information. I think the main thing I should open also is a Twitter account for that, because there's so much you can do with all these online platforms. And it is true that if you don't go online, especially now, you will become obsolete, because people won't know you, people won't know what you're doing. You'll get lost somewhere in all the noise. So it's really important to put up an online presence right now.
Okay, so Sarah says we should put up an online presence because it is important. At least we've gotten to hear it from one of the founders. And the scholarship that Sarah is talking about, you can apply. The link is in the chat session. So Sarah, you can tell us for now, when people are not buying, people are saying that people are not buying, there's no business, there's nothing. How are you handling it on your side? What are some of the measures you put in place?
It is true, business has been down, and I can say on my side, I experienced it from end last year, and when there was an economic downturn in Kenya, and it's even made worse by the situation that we're going through. So, but that doesn't mean that there's actually nothing going on business-wise. One just needs to re-strategize and see what people are looking for, because food is one thing that people will always buy. So you need to look at what it is that people are buying. For example, vegetables right now are selling like hotcakes. So if you're able to produce those and sell them, especially to people who don't have the like backyard gardens to be able to grow their own veggies, it would be good to provide those, and if possible to deliver them to the doorsteps, because there's also this thing of people not wanting to go out a lot. I mean, we've been told to keep indoors as much as possible, and especially if you have small kids, you don't want them going out and getting exposed to anything. So just you can re-strategize and look at what is happening and what is moving, and be able to meet that need of the consumers.
How have you, as an individual, as Miss Bell, founder of Miss Bell, how have you re-strategized?
Okay, for myself, my main challenge has been having the volumes to be able to meet my customer demands. So for now, what I've done is I've reduced the deliveries and the selling, and I've concentrated more on what I can do in my small plot here in Nairobi. As I mentioned, I'm researching on how to grow different products, different vegetables organically. Like I've done, what do you call this? I've done a few snow peas, I've done some zucchini, some cucumbers, some pili, some dania, spring onions, so that we don't have to buy the expensive onions in the shop. So I always look for the cheaper option, whatever is pocket friendly and also is healthy. So if I'm able to grow them here, I believe that as I said, when the cessation of movement is lifted, I am able to now replicate the small things I've done here to a bigger place in the upcountry shamba, and now be able to do it en masse, so that now I'll be able to provide the deliveries at a better rate, because what I have here is not enough to meet the demand. So mostly my work right now has been more on the research side and learning, increasing my experience. So there's that, and also I'll be able hopefully to train other people, other farmers, other aspiring farmers on how to do these things, because I realized a lot of farmers or potential farmers forgot that you can actually grow these things without needing so much input in terms of chemicals, pesticides, fertilizers, and so on. So you can actually work with your budgets, with your little budget, little or big, you can work with that. Because I also, as I told you, I have a few cuckoos. So I'm also able to put
You have cuckoos?
Yes.
Okay.
I try to simplify my life as much as possible by not buying many things outside. So I try to keep my budget very small by having like a cyclical sort of shamba. So the cuckoos eat from the shamba in terms of the veggies, and then the cuckoos, when they poop, I take the poop to the shamba. So it's fertilizer, very good fertilizer for the shamba. And most recently, because I monitor also what goes on in the economy, I noticed that gas and petroleum products might actually increase, the cost of that will increase. So to avoid messing up my budget, I also invested in a small biogas digester. So the chicken poop is also able to feed into the digester for gas, so I'm able to cook with that. And then the biodigester provides some nice organic fertilizer which goes to the shamba, and it's also got water, so I don't need to invest in pumping water into the shamba. So you just feed everything and then it feeds off itself. So learning experience, something that I'm able to also train people on, and with time it becomes cheaper. For that one, the investment might have been a bit on the higher side, but in the long run, it actually makes life cheaper and easier, and you're not controlled by too many external forces. You're able to manage your challenge or your budget also, if you get what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So someone, you just have a very nice review. Someone has said they have checked out your website. It is well organized.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Sarah, for everyone who wants to start, maybe people do not have a business or something. What do you think? What would you advise everyone who wants to start basically and get to a point where they have a website like you? What would you advise a beginner, someone who is a founder, just a parting shot for anyone who is here with us today? What would you tell them?
Okay, I'm a big believer in starting where you are with what you have. One of my inspirations was in the Bible, when you remember Moses, who was he had so many shortcomings when he was given the commission to go and release the the Israelites from Egypt. And of course, I'll paraphrase. One of the questions he was asked is, what do you have? And all he had was the staff in his hand. So, and that, I mean, somebody would think you should have a gun or a spear or a weapon, something elaborate, but all he had was the staff. And that staff was used to do many things, because it changed into a snake, it parted the Red Sea, you know, it did many things. So always ask yourself, what is it that you have at hand? If you have a small plot or a small lawn, start where you are, like in terms of farming, that's what I'm talking about. If it's if you don't have that space, you can just buy the small pots, or use the old buckets or basins that you have, and just fill them with some soil, plant your few veggies there, or maybe get the sacks. I'm sure you've seen some of those pictures of the sacks where you fill them with some organic matter, and then you plant your skuma wiki in some of the holes. Just start where you are with what you have. If it's 10 shillings that you have, I mean, I've heard of these sweet hawkers, the guys who sell the sweets in the streets. I've heard of them buying just, let's say, sweets for maybe 20 bob or something, and then they sell them at a small profit, and they just reinvest the profit until it becomes something big. So never, ever, ever look down on what it is that you have. There's something you can do with that. And in a previous life, sorry, there's a time I worked in a microcredit unit in a bank, and I was deeply inspired by the mamas, especially the mama mbogas, or the mamas who sell the eggs, who go around selling eggs, because I realized they're actually the millionaires in our economy, because their overheads are very little, but they're able to work they're able to replicate the monies they have in their businesses and still maintain their costs, keep their costs low, until they're able now to invest in a bigger business, maybe buy a mkokoteni and get somebody else to do the deliveries instead of them carrying the things on their backs. And you find some of them even have built mansions, like they come together and they buy a plot, and they're able to build themselves up from that. So there's so much we can do with what we have, no matter how big or small it is.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sarah, for that networking session. It was fine. So we have learned a lot. At least we have learned that a farmer does not have to be the one we see on the farm. The idea we all have. We can see you can go to the shamba and come and look pretty. So this networking session is to ensure that everyone gets a spot. You get to tell us more about you, more about everyone, more about your business, so that we can get to know you more. If you'd like to feature in the networking session, on the networking session, you can contact us on 0707. The number is on the chat box. You can contact us there. So Sarah, thank you so much. If you have any questions for Sarah, let us look if you have any questions, Sarah. Someone is asking you, hi, I am interested in farming, but my mother at home is uncomfortable with me doing it at home, at the homeland. I live in the city and there's not much space here. Plus the landlady is not willing to have the potted plants. Where and how can I go about hiring some land? I am willing to do the hard work.
Okay, that's a very interesting question. And I know a lot of us go through the one where the parents are not maybe very supportive of doing that, the farming within the family land. I do know that there are many people willing to lease out land, because, you know, Kenyans, we love buying plots here and there. So there are a lot of people out there who have plots, but they're not doing anything with the plots. So if you can find a way to reach out to some of them and work out something, a deal, a lease, something where you can do some farming on their plots, because you also provide security for them when they're not available, especially if the plot is, let's say, in Kajiado and they live in Nairobi. It would be nice it would be helpful for them if there's somebody doing something there and you offer them security, so there are no people coming to encroach on the land. So find a way to reach out to your friends, family, networks, and see if there's anybody who would be willing to help you in that aspect. And on top of that, you can also see if you can convince your parents more on using the family land, because I went through a bit of that, but somehow we reached an agreement, and things are working so far. So reach out and see, try what you can with the outsiders and also within the family. I hope that has answered the question.
I also hope it has I hope it has, but I'd actually advise if you could put your contact in case someone would like to reach out to you after the meeting, ask you something about farming, because maybe they cannot be able to ask it all here. I'd really like that, because networking is all about knowing each other, what you do and how you can do it. So please put your contact in the chat. Then you can also tell us your social media handles. How can I find you on social media? Do you have an established domain?
I guess so. Well, the website, that's the www.missbellcompany.com. On Facebook, you can find me at missbellcompany.com also. I think that's what it's called. Sorry, I'd have to recheck. On Instagram, it's also Miss Bell Company. So I can post them there in the course of the meeting, because multitasking sometimes is a bit tricky. Yeah, but I'll post everything there. So if anyone is interested in reaching out, it would be nice to, I would enjoy, and I'd be very, I'd be willing to assist where I can and to share my experiences also.
Okay, thank you so much, Sarah Mule, for taking up the nomination slot from Nora. We are happy and grateful that we now all know healthy products, where to get them from. Her number is in the chat list. We can contact her for cassava flour, coconut flour, those flour, the healthy.
My parting shot today. As you know, I have retired from Founders Conversation, but because I've been called and I'm a founder, I always have something to tell the dear founders. So yeah, how do you get customers? Can anybody just shout it out for me before we close? How do you normally get customers? Because I sense frustration. Somebody put a frustration in the question and answer that they've been doing this and doing this. How can they make sure they get people without paying? And I have good news for you. You don't need to pay to get people. And real story, we just did our open day. We did our open day on May the 20th. And Cindy, how many people signed up? Lillian, Cindy, anyone can answer, so they don't say Frida is making up stuff. I didn't prepare you. How many people signed up for that session? Who can tell me?
Around 300.
300.
Yeah.
379.
Yes.
How many people?
379.
Who has ever had an event physically and got 300 people to show up in the room? How many? Okay, now we can raise our hands. We got 379 people that registered and 170 people showed up. How much did we pay for ads?
Zero.
Subira is in the house. How much did we pay? Zero. So you don't need to pay to get ads. You're wasting your money. All you need to do is come to Passion Profit, and the online business experts will show you what they did to get 379 people in a webinar for free in less than 2 weeks, all right? There are people out there waiting. The problem is this. I'll give you a little tip so you know, you don't say, sasa nataka pesa, staki pesa, when you nataka pesa. Now, there's something called the buyer's journey. Let's be serious here. And everything that Njau has said and everything that we do online, the whole of this month, we're going to be talking about digital marketing, not digital marketing strategies, how to sense and shape your new normal using e-commerce. And somebody chose Chesubire. Is Chesubire not our speaker next week?
Chesubire is our speaker next week.
Yes, I am.
All right, so you didn't know that, but Chesubire is actually the one that is having the conversation next week. She's our communications director, in case you didn't know that. She's a communications director at SFA. And one of the things I'd like to encourage you founders is that getting known, getting liked, and getting trusted for people to buy from you takes time. Don't be in a hurry. Research shows that the first time people see your post on social media, on WhatsApp, wherever it is, those people are future buyers. Only 1% of them is a now buyer. And normally that 1% is somebody who has been following you a while. So imagine if you're not online, you're going to be obsolete. The people who buy at Passion Profit are people who started hearing me those days, 2010. I'm phasing out of the company. You're seeing new faces, but today is when they're coming to say, oh, we want to buy. So this is the thing you need to understand. The buyer is on a journey. Every time you post something out there, do not sell. Please write on the chat box if you had me. Do not sell online.
We will not sell online.
Don't. Cultivate relationships. How do we cultivate relationships? Can anybody tell me? Cultivate relationships, all right? If there was a guy around me, Njau is here. Is Njau still here? Njau, can you please tell us how you tuned your wife? Where are you? All of you who are looking at Njau thinking he's handsome, the man is married.
Share information.
Njau, can you tell us, how did you get your wife? When
Wow.
Njau told me he's getting married, I hope he has not run away to do some other work.
No, I'm right here.
Fantastic. Tell us, how did you get your wife? Njau has been my mentee for a long time. When I used to see Njau and then he disappeared. Then when he came back, he told me he's getting married. I said, Njau can tune a girl and get her into the box. This soft man. So today, I'm putting him on the spot. What happened? Tell us.
Wow. It was... You're taking me back. You're taking me back to a long time.
This is why you know that. I wasn't supposed to come. They just saw me in the room and called me.
Yeah, it's all about the conversations that you have, the interests, what you like in that person, and whether you'd like to be in a relationship with them.
Kwfantastic.
Yes.
That is how you get prospects, how you attract prospects. The first thing, Njau saw a girl he liked. Kweli ama uongo, Njau?
Well,
Not any girl. They have been hanging around Njau for a long time. He never asked me for my phone number.
Yeah.
Then this girl appeared and he asked her for you. Can you see that? Are you getting it? Ama munacheka too. All right. So number one, you must define who your prospect is. You are not here to sell to everyone. Okay. Njau was looking for a particular girl. You too should be looking for a particular person. We are not looking for everyone. Okay. So there's a time we want the room full, but there's also a time that we are looking for a particular person. So the particular person you're looking for, you need to define them very clearly. Are they Wanjiko? Are they Njoroge? How much money do they earn? Number one. Number two, cultivating a relationship, you put messages that will attract this person. For instance, Passion Profit, notice we don't call founders SMEs, we call them founders. Okay, we are elevating them to their aspiration because we know that people start their own jobs so that they can earn more money, be their own bosses. They don't want to be made small again, all right? So you need to know, number one, who is your target audience? Number two, what is their pain? Do not talk technical jumbo, trying to impress people with your grammar and your MBA. The person who is hurting does not think how you think in class. I need money. Don't start telling me about business plan. I don't know what. Show me the road to the money and we will show you, all right? The third thing, so number one, who is the person? Number two, what is their pain? Number three, what is their pleasure? What are they aspiring to be? Everybody has an aspiration, everybody, even Kenyatta, even Obama, even Trump. You must know that person and you must know those two things about them. Because if they can see that you can take them to what they aspire to be, they're going to start following you. And then you continue that way, and then you must have an end game. So you can't be posting every day without an end game. And that's why Njau said you need to have a strategy. A strategy is a plan of action. This month, all we're talking about is sensing and shaping, sensing and shaping the new normal using digital strategies. Our online business experts are ready to help you. If you don't know what to do, they can give you a free audit, okay? So there, Cindy always promises you something for free. So here's your free thing. Njau gave you websites for 40K, we charge 55, but Cindy is giving you a free audit of your digital strategy. Kweli ama uongo, Cindy?
Now a pair. That's how much I love them.
Okay, all right. So if you've been online and people are not following you, you only have likes, we help you generate leads. You will get a phone number, you will get an email address, you can call somebody and talk to them. You think Njau was just going to like, the post of her girlfriend. What is it, Mrs. Njau's post? Are you not tired of people just liking your post? No,
Yeah.
Njau was calling this girl, all right? So we want you also to be calling your prospects, okay? Those are your girls, your babes. Your client is your babe. You must have his or her phone number. Njau was calling the girl and saying, "Unajua nini this weekend? Tunaweza enda wapi?" Where do people go nowadays? I don't know.
Njau, where did you go?
Java. Tunaweza enda Java. So that is what we can help you do. So we stop these games. And that's why we're saying this month, we are not playing, all right? Get online or be obsolete. And to help you get online, if you're already online, you're saying, but we have been online for donkey years. Do you have leads or you have likes? A lead is somebody you can pick up the phone and call them. This is Frida. Thank you for liking my post. This is what we're doing. If you need that kind of help, this week only, before Thursday next week, you can get a free audit on your digital strategy. We'll look at your digital, we'll look at all your social media pages and give you and let you know what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong. And then if you want us to help you, that's another story that you'll get into with Njau and Chesubire. Mumefurahi, kama mumefurahi, let me see some hands up and I'm gonna turn it back to Cindy. Cindy, it's all yours. Are you glad I showed up?
That is one of our founder. That is our founder.
All
that
right,
is how
so
I
it's
am.
10:02. Have a good day.
Thank you everyone for joining in. Next week, tune in and we will be with our IT, with our communication director, Chesubire.